Hey everyone, and welcome to RUBIN'S Mind Lab, where we break down the latest research into what it really means. Ever wonder why some words just stick in your brain while others float away? Or how the way we read something might actually change how well we remember it? Well, get ready, because a fascinating study might just have a clue, and it involves a kind of crossword effect on our memories. This research explores a really interesting idea that the physical way we experience words, like reading them left to right or top to bottom, might actually influence how well we remember them, especially if that orientation matches what the word means. It is like our brains are wired to remember things better when the physical action of reading aligns with the mental image or association of the word itself. Now, for a long time, scientists thought that when we learn a word, our brain stores its meaning in a sort of abstract code like a computer file. It doesn't really care about how you saw it, felt it, or did anything with it. But there is another idea called the perceptual symbol hypothesis that suggests our word meanings are actually tied to our senses and our actions. So understanding the word rocket might involve reactivating some of the feelings or images of it shooting upwards. And if that is true, then the way we physically interact with the word, like how we read it, could affect how easily we access its meaning and remember it later. This is where the crossword effect comes in. Think about how crossword puzzles use words arranged horizontally and vertically. This study wondered if that physical arrangement matters for memory. So, the researchers designed a clever experiment. They had people look at these crossword-like grids filled with words. Some words were written horizontally, and some were written vertically. The key was that they'd pre-tested words to know which ones had a strong horizontal association, like railway, and which had a strong vertical association, like rocket. Participants were shown these grids for a little while and then asked to do a math problem as a distraction. After that, they were given a surprise test to see how many words they could remember. They weren't told beforehand that they'd be tested on word recall, which is important because it means they weren't trying extra hard to memorize them in a specific way. And here is where it gets interesting. In the first experiment, they found that words with a strong vertical association, like rocket, were remembered much better when they were actually presented vertically on the screen during the study phase. But for words with a strong horizontal association, like railway, how they were presented horizontally or vertically didn't seem to make a big difference in how well they were remembered. This suggested that the alignment between the word's meaning and its physical orientation during encoding was important, but perhaps more so for vertically oriented concepts. To really dig into this, they did a second experiment. This time, they used words that didn't have a strong horizontal or vertical association. Think words like foam or sphere. And guess what? Even these neutral words were remembered better when presented vertically. This general vertical encoding advantage was smaller than for the vertically associated words, but still present. This told them that there might be something about reading vertically itself that helps memory, maybe because it is a bit more effortful for us English speakers. The researchers called this the crossword effect. It highlights that the way we process words physically can interact with our conceptual understanding of them, influencing memory. This study supports the idea that our concepts aren't just abstract symbols, but are grounded in our experiences and actions. It suggests that our memory for words can be affected by the simple act of reading them in a particular orientation if that orientation matches the word's inherent association. So, what does this all mean for us? Well, it's a reminder that our brains are incredibly interconnected. The physical act of reading, which we often take for granted, isn't just passive. It can actually shape our memories by interacting with the very meanings of the words we're reading. It's like our bodies are subtly influencing our minds. The researchers suggest some cool future directions. Imagine using eye tracking to see exactly how people read vertical words and how that relates to their memory. Or studying this in languages where vertical writing is more common, like Japanese. They even wonder if this could apply to actively producing words, like in an actual crossword puzzle, where writing horizontally might help words like railway, and writing vertically might help words like rocket. This study is a great example of how subtle physical aspects of our interaction with information can have a real impact on our learning and memory. It reinforces the idea that being embodied, that is, having a physical body that interacts with the world, is fundamental to how we think and remember. Now, for my take on this, I think this research is brilliant because it takes something we do every day reading and shows it has a deeper impact on our cognitive processes. The experimental design is solid, with 2 experiments building on each other and controlling for other factors like word length and frequency. It really points to the power of embodied cognition. One potential limitation, as the authors themselves hint at, is that they didn't use eye tracking. We're assuming people read vertical words top to bottom, but we don't have direct proof of that for every participant or every word also. The effect for horizontally associated words was almost non-existent, which could mean that the vertical advantage is just much stronger, or that horizontal reading is so ingrained that it doesn't add or subtract much. The implications are pretty wide-ranging. It suggests that for learning, especially for concepts with strong spatial associations, the orientation of the material might matter. Imagine educational materials being designed with this in mind. It also makes you think about how we interact with information digitally, where orientation can often be manipulated. Future research could explore the exact mechanisms more deeply, perhaps using neuroimaging techniques, and expand this to different types of material and languages. But for now, this crossword effect gives us a fantastic glimpse into the embodied nature of our minds and how the physical world shapes our mental world. What do you all think about this? Does it make sense that the way we read might affect what we remember? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this dive into the science of memory and reading, please hit that like button. Subscribe to RUBIN'S Mind Lab for more fascinating research, and share this video with anyone who loves to learn. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.